Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Dana again, and today you're at Research Road, and it's the 4th of September, 2024. This week, we're starting off with some big news that will rewrite some science books. NASA confirmed the existence of Earth's ambipolar electric field. The field was first suggested about 60 years ago, but had not been measured. Recently, NASA used a suborbital rocket to measure it for the first time. It's only about half a volt, but it confirmed the presence of the Earth's third known energy field. To put the measurement's importance into perspective, the other two known energy fields are little things we call the magnetic field and gravity. Getting into how it works and all of the key effects is a bit much for a roundup video, but is worth looking into. The summary is that this field extends the height of Earth's atmosphere. So, starting off with tech news, footage from a Chinese conference on robots went viral this week as people marveled at the amazingly lifelike humanoid robots. Some viewers were amazed, some were terrified, some expressed, other emotions. But the humanoid robots have one major flaw. Primarily, they weren't robots. They were just humans in cosplay. Sorry to ruin the dream, but that level of tech is a long way off. In actual robotics news, researchers at Cornell built robots that basically use a mushroom for their brains. The biohybrid robots were able to walk. I, for one, welcome our new mushroom masters. I hope they're fun guys. The social media site formerly known as Twitter has been suspended in Brazil. And now on to space. NASA's Advanced Composite Solar Sail System has been in space since April. On August 29th, the team behind the project reported they received data saying the system that hoists the sail had successfully deployed. Solar sails will one day be used in spacecraft of all kinds. In other NASA news, the space agency has cut 2 astronauts from the next SpaceX mission to make room for the 2 astronauts stranded on the International Space Station. The Polaris Dawn launch we talked about last week was put on hold, reportedly due to bad weather. It looks like the new launch date is September 4th. Recently, there has been a flood of articles and news stories about the possibility of the first man-made meteor shower. The idea is that debris caused by NASA's DART test, which was a test to gather information about deflecting asteroids, would reach Earth and be visible from the ground. However, a project scientist for the European Space Agency says modeling indicates that is very unlikely. It seems as though the most likely destination for the pieces large enough to be visible is Mars, not Earth. The debris would take several years to reach either location. And now it's time to talk about climate change. South Korea's constitutional court told the government to back up its plans for climate action in a more defined way through 2049. This is being seen as a partial win for climate advocates. Even Fox News is now mentioning the connection between climate change and higher insurance premiums for homeowners. There has been a known connection for a while, but it being mentioned on Fox News in a way that suggests climate change is not only real, but it's also costing you money is probably going to be a wake-up call for some people. A study suggests that melting Alaska permafrost is revealing troubling amounts of mercury. Mercury is that naturally occurring substance that has a connection to severe neurological issues in humans. I feel like the possibility of it traveling in water is something we should pay close attention to. In the world of animals, a white beluga whale rumored to have been a Russian spy has been found dead. Each phrase in that sentence made it stranger, right? The whale was first noticed by Norwegians back in 2019. The whale was wearing a harness with what appeared to be a camera mount. A buckle on the harness reportedly said, "Equipment, St. Petersburg." This gave birth to the rumors that the friendly whale was, in fact, engaged in espionage. A megaden of prairie rattlesnakes in Colorado is growing as new snakes are born. The snakes are born live, not hatched from eggs. As many as 2,000 snakes spend the winter at the megaden. There's even a live stream if you want to watch at rattlecam.com. Just like last week, new fear unlocked. Now that I've said that, it should be understood that part of the reason for the camera showing the undisclosed location is to help people be less terrified of the snakes that care for their young. U.S. wildlife officials have finalized plans to kill almost 500,000 invasive barred owls over the next 30 years to help stabilize the native spotted owl population in the Pacific Northwest. The two owls compete for food. Obviously, this option has proven controversial among wildlife officials, animal conservationists, and, well, pretty much anybody involved. In health news, there's been an uptick in serious mosquito-borne illnesses in the United States, and there are dozens of lists floating around about how to protect yourself. Many are missing a crucial step. Look for standing water in your yard. It could be in an old pot or in an old tire. That standing water helps mosquitoes make baby mosquitoes. Dump it out. Now let's dig up the past a little. The Menga Dolmen, which is a giant stone chamber in Spain that was built sometime between 3600 and 3800 BCE, had some new analysis done by researchers. They determined the structure, which was built about 1,000 years before Stonehenge, was built with a great deal of understanding of science. One of the researchers said, quote, "We have to call it science. We've never talked about Neolithic science before, only because we are too arrogant to think that these people could do science the way we do it." And now on to oddities. A 4-year-old at an archaeological museum in Haifa reportedly tried to look inside a jar near the entrance, and somehow it fell and broke. It is estimated to be about 3,500 years old. The museum is being really cool about the whole thing and plans to restore it and then use it as a teaching tool for the public. This week's quote is attributed to Enrico Fermi. There are two possible outcomes. If the result confirms the hypothesis, then you've made a measurement. If the result is contrary to the hypothesis, then you've made a discovery. So that's all the data we have to date. Hope you enjoyed it and hope to see you again soon.